Hello, everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to Aimless Babble Z, episode 359. I'm Chris Adams, the Tegan Master, joined by.
Jimmy Diego 5.
And Traptical.
So, yeah, we've got some Whatcha been playing, a middle segment that we will decide on the fly what it is when we get there, Aimless style, and some news. So, also, I'm a bit under the weather, so bear with me if I, sneeze or have any, type of weird sounds coming from yeah,
Yay,
my audio feed.
dying.
Because I'm
Yeah.
kind of dying right now. Well, I'm not dying, but it's just sick, not feeling good. But I'm going to soldier
Yeah.
through for you listeners out there.
He's gonna soldier through for you guys because he's dying. Yeah.
Soldier!
I feel better, so it's I'm way better than when I was at my worst, so But yeah, Final Fantasy VIII on the Vita. Had the showdown with Edea and Tifa, and then the fallout of, oh no, Renault, what's happening? And we gotta find the White Seed ship, and that's where I'm at. So we finally stopped them from whatever they were doing there, in that place when they were there. We don't know what they were doing there because I haven't got there, but, I did it. And then I was also able to beat a bunch of, well, not a bunch, but there's 3 people that you get the keys from you can also play cards with, and you also can, do stuff with the rules of the cards, so I was able to do that against them. But it was hard because it was, random, so you didn't get to draw your own cards, and I was like, ooh, this is a challenge, I'll do it and I'll beat him, and I did, so I felt accomplished. What else? But yeah, moving right along into disc 2, finally on disc 3, so really hoping really hoping I can finish this game by the time the Nintendo 2DS comes out, because I would like to be getting one of those and just transition into playing other stuff on that. And I've been playing this game for a long time, so I mean, I'm kind of I'm milking it here because I'm not just going straight with the story, but I guess it's time to speed up since Nintendo's like, ooh, hey Tekken, we know you complained about this on the podcast and we're going to give you what you want for once. Besides that, I guess we'll go into the weekly Destiny. Oh, what happened there?
I love Destiny.
Man, we were way off this week in the Water Glass. It was embarrassing. It was just really bad runs the entire time. I mean, it was so funny because Zafro, he said in Water Glass there's a million ways for you to fail because everybody has a specific thingy and there's so many things that can go wrong. And it was just yeah, Murphy's Law at its finest, because we were all doing things every time differently to F us up, and it was just man. So, but I finally got through it, and my hunter finally got some Vault Age of Triumph armor, so yeah. Also the usual weird banter where we came up with a weird lewd comment for the night and kept saying it over and over about bros and fisting and stuff. I mean, bro fisting, not fisting in general, but yeah. I mean, don't Google that. Do not Google that if you're listening.
Google it. Do it. Look it up. It's super fun.
Because they still in his bro town, bro fist, bro love, whateverness was just ridiculous. And yeah, fun was had by all when we just came up with combinations of the naughty terms for that. Oh, and also, Hobo finally got his Mythic class. So, number 2 on the took the years, but they finally got it. Mythic class dragon.
Wow.
Let's see. I think I'm actually going to jump back in today to get my other Age of Triumph boxes, because I didn't, and I have my fits with this game, and I want to play and I don't want to play, and I was like, let me fix my Elgato, which I did. So, yay. Crap, I'm not sure if I have the image for that game. Crap, I don't think I do. But, yeah, Destiny. Still playing it every week with everybody.
Because you love it?
No, it's just a nice farewell.
Yeah, because you love it.
Right off into the sunset. And I can be free when Destiny 2 comes out. Never play it again.
Because you love it.
Lies. Alright, well, I forgot to get an image for Mortal Kombat Complete Edition PS3 360 last gen. I was playing that. I got halfway through the story mode because it gives you a trophy of halfway there, and I was like, I'm done. Because, yeah, Tactical said many times ago, is you get the fights when it's 2-on-1, it's just not fair. And it's just dude, what the F?
Those are rough.
This is super not fair, and it's just very... It just sucks all the wind out of the momentum that you're getting through the story and enjoying it. But I gotta say, as a Mortal Kombat fan, that is very lapsed, because, man, back in the day, I have okay, there's this anecdote of this one time, me and my sister, because we had Sega Genesis, we rented Mortal Kombat I think it was from Blockbuster. I don't remember. Wherever. Rented from somewhere. We were playing through it, and we got to the final boss, and like in the modern day standards, you'd say that we cheesed the final boss because we just kept doing the ride and fly through the air move on Goro, and like he would just block, and like we just chipped him to death. It was great. So that was funny. Yeah, dude, back in the day, that game, that was like one of the top. I wouldn't say. I'm not gonna say it's not top tier, but it's like it was like the Western like behemoth in the fighting genre. So it's like really cool to like see it come back and like to play it now. It has so many throwbacks to like the old art style and like the old character models, and like to see them in the current, well, not current gen quite because it's last gen, but like to see everything be rebooted and redone and be like, oh, they really have like redone this game and did it a proper treatment. But it's so funny because man, the outfits, I gotta say, this game felt a bit like if I had played. I mean, I haven't played Duke Nukem Forever, but it felt like it has a bit of stank of Duke Nukem Forever just because like every female character is just like ridiculously clothed, and it's like, wow, they just do not care. Like Sonya Blade's costume, oh my goodness, they're just like boob pockets. They just hold her boobs, and like she has no. It's like nothing there. It's like boob window. You see your boob, like cleavage, like nothing supporting it, like any normal woman wearing clothes would have, and it's like just wow, like they did
For
that.
freedom of movement.
And then for like Shiva, she's just wearing like a loincloth, and it's like, wow, that is. I mean, I'm not into that. She's got 4 arms because that's weird. Or not, I mean, I'm not into that. It's like 4 arms and like the weird leopard skin thing going on. And also like the scale is like she looks very tall, so it's like it's very appropriate for like her menacing. But man, she has like no clothes. It's like, wow, this is. I mean, I guess it's age perfect since it's M-rated, but man, it's like playing that and just seeing like, dude, these guys. I mean, or I just like played it and I was like, man, Anissa Keys would have a field day with this game because there's so much of that going on. And then like the katana and all her people that dress like that with their like corset with the swimsuit area, and then just like nothing there. It's like it's like you're fighting but you have no armor. It's weird. It's whatever. So I was like, that's man. It's like a sign of the times of like clearly Mortal Kombat just like Duke Nukem kind of stuck in the 90s or in the past and just doesn't care. But yeah, this is the thing, so it's fine. It's whatever. I just noticed it. I was like, man, I cannot like not notice this because compared to every other game I've played in a while, they are just not giving it enough. So that was neat and funny. But yeah, also like the stages, it's cool because they have like the Deadpool or whatever it's called. I don't remember what it's called, like the pits or something. Or like even the armory was like a stage in Mortal Kombat 2. And then to see it in this one, it's like, wow, they really like took all the old stuff. Or that forest with like the living trees and like all the hanging bodies. I was like, wow, this is like if they took it from retro style Genesis 90s era and then put it into like the modern graphic style. So that was really cool. I enjoyed that. So it's like it took me a long time to finally play this game because it's been in my backlog forever. So finally getting to play it and appreciate it, I gotta say, I did enjoy that. But then it's like playing through story mode, I didn't bother to like pause the game and then like check everybody's move list. I was just like, dude, I'm just gonna use basic attacks because this is just so yeah, do not really know what I'm doing, but I'm getting through and I'm halfway there. So wait, would I play anything else besides Mortal Kombat? Mortal Kombat, Destiny. Oh yeah, Sleeping Dogs, dude. Sleeping Dogs. Crap, I don't know if I've imaged this either. I'm sorry, listeners. I was sick. give me a break. So Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition is it's super weird to just like keep knocking out all these open world games and just like go from 1 to 1 to 1. But I would say easily better than Mad Max, and just super refreshing because I agree with like what all the reviewers said at the time. When it's like you only get open world games that seem like they're only set in New York and LA. You don't really get anything like any other major city except for like maybe Vice City with like Miami, or Mafia 3, I think it was Louisiana, New Orleans or something. But there's just like there's so many different places you could go, and like areas to explore, and settings. But we seem to just keep going with the same old like New York, LA. Just like gets kind of boring still. And this one was super refreshing just because it's Hong Kong and everybody speaks English. I mean, I'm sure everybody in Hong Kong doesn't speak English, but since it was like previously a English, colony. Yeah. And then before they get back to China, so it's like English is spoken there, and then but then it's like, that's so cool. It's like you have the subtitles on. It's like they switch back and forth when the characters are talking between like Mandarin or whatever they're talking. I don't know if it's Chinese or Mandarin or whatever, and English. And it's just like so cool to just like see them like go back and forth with it. and like see what they're saying in the subtitles when it doesn't like you don't know what they're saying. It just like but it's translated in the subtitles. That was super cool. And it's just like a really well done story of like you're in too deep. A very there's that I think it's Deep Cover is the movie with Lawrence Fishburne when he's like undercover cop, but like you just go in and like you're undercover with the triad and you get in too deep and it's just like wow, how's he gonna get out of this one? And it just keeps escalating and it's like wow, and just every set piece moment which is like wow, that's really cool, wow, that's really cool. And then like the mechanics are good, like the driving's good, the shooting's good, the fighting's good. So it's like everything's good, like the story's good. Like man, I enjoy this game. Wayne's a cool character. Yeah, all the characters are cool. There's no like I mean that's the other thing is they're so refreshing because it's like you don't get to see a lot of like Asian characters or main characters that are not the North, Captain Vanilla, whatever. So that's cool. And then, like, yeah, like supporting characters, it's just a very, very refreshing breath of. Like I said that one time about that one thing, I don't remember what it was, but I stole this from Comic Book Gun 19 on YouTube, so it's like a breath of fresh air in a room full of hearts. So yeah, it's one of those. Because man, New York, LA, and Caucasian characters, and just cities that are not set outside America is so boring. Or not so boring, but it's like it's kind of like it's kind of after a while it's like okay, I've seen this before. Like even in Watch Dogs, it's Chicago, but it's like Chicago, they didn't really do that great of a job. Man, Watch Dogs, I totally give a thumbs up recommendation. And it's super sad that the development team USA or not USA, but United Front Games got closed, so we won't be seeing a follow-up. And there's also DLC, so there's like a weird spin-off DLC for two DLCs I haven't played through. There's like a creepy one, or like a horror-themed, and a Chinese New Year one, so I'll check those out and play through them. They should be interesting. But yeah, Sleeping Dogs. Run a fun time and a fun ride. You should check it out, because it's cheap, I think, usually quite often on the PSN Store or Steam, so. That is all I've been playing, I think. I'm pretty sure. That's all I've been playing.
So you're not through Mortal Kombat yet?
No, I'm halfway through. I had to stop because I was just like, dude, this is... I'm not enjoying this. I'm going to go ahead and stop halfway through and come back to it. Because I asked Gamer and Zafra, like, had they played it, like, how long it was, and they were like 4 hours. And I was like, okay, well, I can just get through that, then play through the PS4 version, and then be, like, caught up with the story. Because that's a cool thing. That's another cool thing about Mortal Kombat, is it takes place at the end of Armageddon when everybody's dead. And then they do something with the story I'm not going to say, which is kind of... I thought that was kind of, like, lame or whatever, because one of my... trinity of like I don't like this plot mechanic when you do this to
Star Trek reboot
to wipe the slate clean, but I guess it's better than nothing. So, or it's like better than just keep going forward with the weirdness that you're stuck in. So
I thought it was pretty crazy that they did it because it's not only it's like Star Trek reboot, but then you got to see Next Generation in the Star Trek reboot. I hope that's vague enough.
It also was kind of neat because it made me think about like how big Mortal Kombat was like back in the day. There was like a Saturday morning cartoon, there were comic books, there was a live action movie. I was like, dude,
There was a
Mortal Kombat.
cartoon?
Yeah, there was.
Really?
It was on USA. There was like a Wing Commander one, a Street Fighter one. I don't remember what the block was called, but yeah, there was.
Yeah, because they had the Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter one, and the Mortal Kombat one didn't last very long though. So it was only like I think it was like Defenders of the Realm or something like that. It's very not what you would think.
I gotta look it up.
Yeah, it's not what you would think. It's very toned down.
It's very. I must say it was severely toned down.
Finish his cereal. Okay.
It's like something seems off about this, but I don't know what. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like kind of cool to like do that and then be like, oh, I guess I wonder if they're ever gonna like go back or not go back, but like it's because they still have the like his universe. The universe is still there, so it's like I wonder if they like would ever try to like do that again and be like, okay, well we're gonna do what we did back in the olden times. And I personally like the first Mortal Kombat movie. The second one's okay too, so I enjoyed them. So I mean, it's just fighting. We talked about this like many times, but it's just like fighting. So it's a fighting game, so it makes sense. But yeah,
Did you watch the YouTube series?
I only saw like the first episode with Reptile. I don't think I watched the whole thing. It was just like weird. And I saw it, I was like, this is way. It's like set in the modern setting too. So I was like, this is weird. This is weird, and I didn't watch the whole thing. But yeah, I guess Mortal Kombat fans are still there because they're still making them. So, NetherRealm Studios. Yeah, man, NetherRealm Studios was able to like survive the Acclaim midway, or not Acclaim, but like the midway closing and just like the bloodbath that was so many studios getting like gone from that era, and they're still around. So I guess they're also in the list of what we talked about that one time. games or franchises that are like 10 years old or legendary, whatever, that are still around making their same stuff.
See, I'm trying to think, was Mortal Kombat ever gone? Like, was there a time when people
I don't
thought
think
it
so, because
sucked?
Midway, it was like their money making machine, or it wasn't their money making machine. It was like they used it like Call of Duty was like their cash cow, where they put out like once. So because like I enjoyed them, but it was like getting to the point of like, dude, they're putting too many out, because it was like.
Yeah, like on PS2 there was a lot of them.
Yeah, because I didn't even play the Shaolin Monk spinoff, and I didn't play like that's another thing I was thinking of, like all the spinoffs that they had like in the past, because I never played any of the spinoffs like Special Forces or Shaolin Monks or Sub-Zero Mythologies. I only played like the main fighting games, and they had like spun that out and like made it last so long. But man, it's just like it's crazy to go back and think about it. But then it's cool because like to me, I'm glad like this was able to happen, because you can see the influence that it's had with other games as far as like the story mode, which is like the one thing that fighting games was lacking. It's like, you know, the secret sauce of Mortal Kombat current version is the story mode, and like luckily it's been able to like proliferate throughout the genre, and everybody else has been like copying it and stealing from it. That was like the one. It's only well, not it's only, but like it's one major contribution.
It's great
like
innovation,
like the best one
for our time.
Because man, stories in fighting games were lacking for so long, and they came along and solved it. And like like Todd said that one time, it is seamless. Like it is so weird. Like Injustice isn't as seamless, but this is like the perfect one. It's like it just cutscene load game fighting. It's like it never stops.
Yeah.
It's like, but even Injustice has like the load screen, so it's like I don't know why the first one is the best, but maybe when I play the X, it'll be the same. So maybe they just do something with that engine. I don't know. They can't do with the Injustice engine. I don't know. But it is so great presentation, and to just stay in the game and like have no load screens and just be cutscene game. It's like a JRPG or 90s era JRPG of fighting games or something.
So good. Yeah, I played through Injustice a few weeks ago because I was like excited for the second one. And I was like, now I want to go play all of these, because they made that crossover one.
Oh yeah, Mortal Kombat DC.
Yeah, and that one had the cutscenes like this as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And that's like actually the first one. And I was like, I don't think anyone really noticed at the time. They just thought, well, this is a weird combination. Because, I mean, yes, it was. But now I was like, well, now I want to see it. You can see, like, it was this week, right, where they talked about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite having an actual story mode. Was that this week?
I don't know.
All right, well, that's one of my news then. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
This week, so I was playing Infinite Warfare because I have it, and I was like, yeah, I should finish it. And yeah, I finished it. It's pretty, like, people really liked that one. The story, anyway.
Is this a cyberpunk one where you go into like the weird stuff at the end, like Gamer said?
No, this one is
space. Okay.
pretty straightforward about space and like
Too many
robots
holidays.
and things like that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I felt like this. Well, I guess I tend to be okay with the stories of the Call of Duties. They aren't quite as I don't know. How would you describe like Gears of War's story?
Ugh, Gears. Man, it was very Saturday morning cartoon basic on that one.
I guess Call of Duty is sort of like that too.
I guess I would just say passable then, because I mean they're not bad, but they're not bad, but they're definitely not good or like amazing. Of like, oh man, this is the best story ever.
I feel like it was better than maybe the previous 2 Call of Duty stories that I played, where in the end of those, like, thinking about them right now, I can't remember what they were about. But this one is like they do stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, that's very exciting. And, you saw Rogue One, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. And it's like, yeah, that's like, take advantage of what the audience knows about the characters.
I mean, the scenarios are always decent or good because I mean, to me, it's like Modern Warfare 2. It's like the end of that game. You get to like the final section. It's just so good. Like how endless cliffhanger. Just like man, that was just tastes perfectly from like once you're chasing them down, and it's like, oh man, what happened? Oh, and it's like to be continued. Oh man, so good.
Dun, dun, dun.
And then like Call of
I
Duty,
thought this one was like
Modern Warfare 3 picks up like right at where that part ends. So that was like a great transition. Or like that trilogy to me is just like, you know, a really good scenario. Just like, you know, Soap and Price and Roach and Ghost and Riggs or whatever their names are. So yeah, doing stuff.
You're just saying random words.
No, that's their names. Ghost is the dude with the face thingy.
Sure?
Roach is the
dude. It just sounds like
that's,
random
that's
words.
the main dude in 3, I think. Yeah, because you can't play as Soap. Wait, no, main dude in 2, because he's like, who's Soap? And then Price is the dude you go in with for the Gilly mission in 2, because it's awesome. And Timeless and Classic. So yeah. And it's got villains too. And it's like, ooh, that guy. We didn't get him, so we gotta hunt him down. And he did that thing at the airport that one time. It's like, ooh, gotta get him.
Oh, that thing that one time. Oh, okay, that.
Always with the thing.
It's like it's so cool, like the way they set that up in Modern Warfare 2, and then like in Modern Warfare 3, you have like the flashbacks of like how does Bleep Blarp know that one guy, and it's like, oh, he was there. Oh my gosh, that was cool.
Oh.
I think it's Yuri, whatever, one of the Russian dudes. It's not.
Everyone was there. Everyone.
You know, well, I guess I really liked the World at War one. And then when they brought World at Wars, yeah, like characters into the modern era with Black Ops, I was like, that was pretty neat.
Black Ops, but then I didn't play 2, and then a lot of people said it was really good, and I was like, man, maybe I should go back and play it, but it's like,
I like the story. I guess
the thing
that's
I would
the
like
one
about
that
it
pros
is just
prefer.
like the variations that you get on certain branching parts. But overall, it's like it would have left me feeling empty because it's just another Call of Duty game. So
yeah, this one. Well, so last week I was talking about how the seamless thing was sort of like, well, I mean, it's not actually, but I guess in the end, it's like, yeah, it worked out pretty well. Like there were recent ones, or I forget which one it was. I think it was one of the Black Ops where every mission sort of ends abruptly.
That was the first Black Ops because it's like interrogation scenes.
Yeah, it's just like this is very
so weird.
A weird way to end.
Yeah.
And then yeah, like it doesn't do that. So it's much better in that sense. But yeah, like just comparing to the other Call of Duties, there was one where every mission sets you back to this hub place, and it's basically like a 3D. It's like PlayStation Home. It's like a 3D version of something that would be much easier with just menus. And you know that it was very broken up that way. And this one has a hub like that, but then like they aren't afraid to have interesting things happen in the hub and like change things up later. And it's like it was a pretty, I guess, exciting campaign, I guess. There were even entire missions that were like in fighter planes, or not fighter, like space fighter planes. What are those called? Starfighters. We call them starfighters in the time of Star Wars. So those were pretty cool, and they were all. I think the game is actually really short. I can only recall like only 4. There's only 4 like main story missions, and then all the rest of them are like side ones that you can take on if you want to.
That's weird.
And taking them on gets you stuff, so you get like faster reload, or like health regen it kicks in more quickly, and just like all this stuff. And so I did all of them, and by the end, like I had this huge perk list in single player, and it's like, okay, that's cool. And it gives you like percentage chance of succeeding each mission depending on your perks. And so by the end, like I think my last mission rating is at like 110%. Like, well, I'm playing on normal, so I don't know if these things matter that much, but sure, whatever. It was never below 80 on any of the missions, so I was like, those are all pretty good odds. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Wasn't there a VR section of this one or something?
No, eventually they took it out, so it was just a standalone VR thing where you got to play VR in the Starfighter, and it was very short. That's what I thought the X-wing thing would be like, because I played that one first, and then I played the X-wing thing. I was like, oh my gosh, the X-wing thing is incredible. Yeah, speaking of VR, I decided I wanted to play some VR stuff this week, and I got I bought Mortal Blitz, which is, people have called it like Time Crisis meets VR. Yeah, I guess that's a pretty good way to describe it.
Is there cover?
There is cover, but the way you use it, it's not like there's a foot pedal. You just sort of move your body.
So you lean around it.
Yeah. That's kind of neat. And it's like, this is weird. But I guess it works, so that was very cool. The one complaint I have about it is like the sound effects are really bad. Because I think Mortal Bliss was originally a mobile game. And so for the trip to PS4, they like improved all the visuals. So visually, it looks like an Unreal 4, like a decent Unreal 4 engine game. But yeah, the sounds were just very, there's like no bass, so gun sounds, everything just doesn't sound super impactful. It's disappointing. No. But other than that, it's like, yeah, you stand there, you got one gun in each hand, which are your move controllers, and then you can equip and unequip your guns. And the reason you want to unequip is because when you have like your empty hand and you pull the trigger, you can grab, they call them groggy finishes. So you shoot enemies until they get groggy, like Mortal Kombat's dizzy time, and then use your empty hand to sort of like pull them or something, and then they like levitate in the air, and then you can shoot them a bunch of times in the air, and you get like bonus points. So it's sort of a score chasing type game. And I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. And so, being in VR and not just a light gun game, you have certain freedoms that you wouldn't normally have. Like, you can, with that levitate thing, you can pick up random boxes and like throw them at people and all this stuff. And I was like, pretty fun. So yeah, that one. But before I played it, like I bought it and then I was like, oh, I should play that other VR game that I already have. And I've had it since launch, but I've never tried Battlezone, which is the VR tank game. And I was like, all right, it's on Pro. They've like upgraded it for Pro, so I'm gonna check it out. And it's a tank roguelike. What? Like, I had no idea.
Ew.
It is a tank roguelike. Basically, every mission, there's like this huge grid filled with hexagon-shaped spaces. And every spot is like a mission. And then did you play Counter Spy, I think it was called?
Yeah.
It's like that. Like, every time you complete or do a mission, you can fail or complete it, and then that like changes the readiness level of the enemy. And this map is like random every single time, so you don't know what kind of missions are going to be popping up as you're trying to make your way across the map. And then there are, and I haven't like failed a campaign yet, but it seems, I forget specifically what it was, but something that I saw suggested to me that, oh, if I die, I will get to keep this thing in like future playthroughs to make it easier. And I was like, wait, that's procedurally generated levels? And like that kind of persistence? Like, this is a roguelike. I'm like, wow. That's how they made like their case for why this should be a $60 game. It's like, well, you play it a lot, hopefully, and it's VR, which is new. So yeah, the game itself is really fun. The tank, everything feels really good. It feels really smooth, but it had been a long time since I played VR, and you lose your sense for it. And after about 4 missions, I was like, I'm not feeling well. So I had to go lie down and take a nap. I don't know what it is. It wasn't really motion sickness in the way that I felt it before. It was like, I just like felt really drained afterwards. I was like, I'm so tired. I just want to go to sleep. So yeah, that was a little
too
bit
much stimulation of your erogenous zone.
Maybe there's just like, with the TV, you can look away from the TV and you can do all this other stuff, and with VR, you can't. You have to take it off, which is also a strenuous thing to do
in your eye zone.
Yeah. And yeah, I was just exhausted after about an hour. I was like, okay, enough of this. And that's why I played Mortal Blitz for like 20 minutes.
Your eyes are like, dude, you need to break it too close. We've been doing this
Screens
for a while.
Were not meant for this distance.
Yeah, it's like, this is not the optimal distance for this type of activity. They might want to do some more testing or something.
Yeah, I feel like I had this feeling playing VR. I was like, I don't think these are the headsets that make VR a thing. I think it will be like future headsets that are better that make it a thing. VR these are good, but not quite there yet. Let's see, what else did I play? Oh, so another game I decided to check out was the Tomorrow Children from Pixel Junk creators.
Dun, dun, dun.
Have any of you played that one?
Nope.
Briefly.
It is weird.
But I don't understand communist Russia, so I can't.
It's not communist Russia anymore. There was a terrible experiment that fused everyone's the physical and mental manifestations of all people on Earth. So now it's just a big white place called the Void.
Whatever you say, comrade.
Well, it's crazy because I thought, as a free-to-play game, there are certain expectations. Like, okay, you start off and you just give me lots of things that I feel like, oh man, I'm making so much progress. And of course, that starts with teaching me how to play the game, and it didn't really do that. It was like, yeah, go make a hole in that big cube over there, and then go inside. I was like, okay. Push square to mine, and I opened the cube, and there was metal inside. I was like, okay, cool. And then he said, all right, get on the train and go to the town where there's a Ministry of Labor, and then go report there. And I was like, okay. I went, and I guess what the game does is that it puts players in randomly selected towns that are built by other players. And so I was in this town that was, I guess I can only describe as deserted. There was just no one there. And the first notification I got was oh, there's no electricity. If there's no electricity, then the Russian stacking doll people will leave. And I was like,
no.
I understand these words individually, but together it means nothing.
It's important information.
And so It took a while. I was like, I found a thing that looked like a generator. I was like, oh man, it's a generator, so I can make power. That's great. And it's like it's a treadmill that you walk on, and like you hold down R2, um, at the right level. So R2 is pressure sensitive. So you just hold it down to keep it in a certain zone on the meter to generate electricity, and then after this timer runs out, then it's like, hey, you generated this amount of electricity. And I was like, cool. And that was all I could figure out how to do. I was like, I don't know how to help this town except for running on this treadmill.
It was too far gone. It was too far gone.
I was like, this game is very strange. At some point, I finally found like a kiosk that had information, like tutorial information written on it. I was like, oh, sweet. I can finally like figure out what I'm supposed to do. It told me what I was supposed to do, but it didn't teach me how. So I was still like lost. And then someone said something like, "Oh, you take the train to go out and like work with your comrades." And I was like, "Oh, this is where I go to toil in the mines. Sweet."
It's not.
And so I got on the bus. And it took me out to the boonies. And so the void is just like this empty area that you exist in, and it's not solid.
It is not. You start sinking into it if you walk out too far.
And so I took the bus out and I arrive at this platform. And there's nothing there. There's just a platform that says load area and like a bus sign, basically. And then I see like another player lying on the ground. And I was like, oh, I can do something helpful for someone. And I revived him. And I revived him. I was like, okay, cool. Now what? And a prompt appeared on the auto load area. It's like push square or something. I was like, huh, okay. So I push square. And suddenly, like, the whole platform disappeared. And I started sinking into the clouds. And these mining areas, like, where the buses take you, are very far... Yeah, they're very far from the town.
Civilization. Yeah.
Safe. I was like, what am I supposed to do now?
And they're, like, oddly shaped, like,
nothing I can do. Basically, I'm dead. And that's what happened. I was dead.
It's a strange setup because like when I played it for however long I was playing it, it's like I was like, I don't really understand what's going on, but I know I'm supposed to be possibly building a life. So it's like I would go on the train and it's like it'll take me to some other place and it's like, here, gather supplies and stuff. And I was like, this place is too weirdly shaped for me to gather anything. And it was like, put all your supplies on the bus. I was like, okay, I'll do that. But then the bus left me. I was like, okay, what am I supposed to do now? So I was like, it was just like everything was a mess. And then when I finally got back to my town, I got attacked by like Godzilla or something. I was like, what are we doing? What's happening right now? How do we stop this?
Also very surprising.
Yeah, because it's like, and they were like, oh, you have to defend your town. And I was like, how? I can't even work properly, let alone protect us from a giant dinosaur attack. Like, what do you want me to do? And it's like, you can man the turret. So I go up to a turret. Didn't work. I was like, okay, I don't understand what's happening in this game. I give up. This town is doomed. Sorry, town. Sorry. And it's like, oh, you can go and build a house somewhere. But then I tried to go to a space. It's like, sorry, this space is already taken by somebody else. Oh, sorry, this space is already taken by somebody else. I was like, well, then why would you tell me to come in this town? Why would you tell me to come here? I can't use anything. So it's just like, I don't know. That game is weird, and I don't understand what to do. And it was like, fine. I give up. And then eventually I like ranked up somehow, and I was like, this still doesn't explain anything on how to do anything. I don't know. I don't know how this game is supposed to work. I don't know.
Pretty much my experience. Although I read about how to do some of that stuff, but it was like they're using terminology that they don't explain. So they're like, oh, you're proletariat, so you're not allowed to like use better tools or build a house or do anything, or like get a license to operate the turret, or get a license to operate a vehicle or a jetpack or something. It's just like, okay, so how do I get these papers? And then I found a dude who's like, oh yeah, I'll sell them to you, but I don't take ration coupons. I only take free man money. And I'm like, what the heck is free man money? It was like, how do I get free man money? And I look in the tutorial thing, and it's like, free man money just occasionally is lying around on the ground. I was like, I haven't seen any. Like, my counter says 0, and I need 500?
Yeah.
So,
you can also still like resources from other people too, because like there was somebody like trying to haul resources, I guess, back to wherever they were, but I took theirs, and I was like, well, it was just lying on the ground. I don't know if you were trying to put it on the bus or what's going on, but it's like it's mine now, so it's like I'm sorry, I guess. I don't.
I'm helping you, comrade.
I was like, I'm sorry, maybe. I don't understand. Am I helping you? Am I stealing from you? Are we enemies now? Like, are we gonna be like rivals in the future? I don't know. But I have to go to my town where Godzilla's attacking again for some reason. So he really did not like our town. And then a giant spider appeared because of course it did. So it was just like they were like, eventually your town is gonna be destroyed. And I was like, well, you know what? If you taught me how to use turrets or something, we probably could have stopped it, but can't. So can't. Needless to say, I eventually stopped playing because I was like, I don't understand how any of this is supposed to work, and everything's weird. You need a license for everything, and it's like I can't do this. I can't do it.
I mean, some of it seemed interesting. I was like, okay, I will try this again. But after I died out in the void, I was like, I've had enough for today. I was like, I don't understand what's happening at all. Why did that happen? The bus was supposed to take me to work.
The bus said no. It said you didn't have the license to be taken to work.
It was sad. Yeah. And then, of course, I played Paragon because there were days this week.
Yeah.
Although last week I was talking about cutting back, and so I have cut back significantly. I'm just playing I'm trying to limit myself to one game a day. But I still want to get all the quests done, so the challenge for me every day now is to get all the quests done playing just one game. And sometimes it's easier, and sometimes it's not as easy. I played one yesterday with RPG where all of my quests, all 3 quests had to do with killing opposing players. It was like I had to get 5 kills or assists, and then 15 kills or assists, and then do 20,000 damage to enemy players. And in that one game, I had, I think, 26 kills and assists, 21 kills. And I was like, cool, I finished all of them. I haven't run into the one where I have to get 2 inhibitors yet. So
you just jinxed yourself.
That's going to be the hard one.
We're going to get all of them now. All of them. They're going to be like, get all 3 inhibitors. Let's get to them.
Yeah, not much new to say about the game itself.
Yeah,
we had a
like
super bad craft dodging day. That's very sad.
They've gotten worse and worse. I played a game today, and there was like, we were at the character select screen or whatever, and we were all picking our characters, and then one of the guys was like, oh, because I picked Iggy and Scorch, and they were just like, please don't pick Iggy. And then I was like, yeah, so I picked him and then walked away from my screen for it to just like lock in once I come back, because I had to go get my clothes out of the dryer or whatever. So I was like, anything they said after that I probably didn't see or cared, so picked it. And then when we start the match, he's like, Iggy, make sure you don't feed the other team. And I was like, what are you even talking about? Why would I do that? So we were playing, and then the steal on our team, he was like master or whatever, but he kept he died like 4 times within like the first 10 minutes or something. It's like, oh, still, how'd you even become a master? And then like these two basically spent the entire match just complaining the entire time. And then it's like anytime they would get killed, they blame somebody else. Be like, oh, you abandoned me. Oh, you did this. Oh, if you were here, we would have. I was like, listen. You spend less time typing on whatever your keyboard you're using and actually played, you probably would be okay. Or stop running into suicidal situations where it's just like 4-on-1, and it's like, yeah, I'm not going to stay here to help you. So I'm just like, I'm not going to do something stupid and get myself killed. So they're like, oh my god, these guys are all feeding, they're all terrible, and all this stuff when they had like more kill or more deaths than anybody on the team. And it's like, you got to be kidding me right now. You got to be kidding me right now. But it's just like people are just so ridiculous now, and I don't know. I just don't like people in Paragon anymore. I just think they're all toxic and the worst. And it's like, oh my god, people, just shut up, just shut up. And then I played a game after that, and everything went well, and we won, and everything. I was like, see, it's like this is good teamwork. It's like everybody was giving each other good jobs whenever they did something good, but nobody gave like sarcastic good jobs when they died, like other people like to do sometimes. Like this is what people are supposed to be like. But it's like then you always get the games with the people who happen to have keyboards, and then that's when the fun starts, because it's like, oh my gosh, now you have to hear them the entire match complaining about everything, or doing the sarcastic good jobs anytime somebody dies or something bad goes, and it's just like, oh my god, shut up, shut up. So I think I've reduced my playing time, because it's like people just irritate me in that game, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, people are stupid. You're all stupid. Everyone is stupid. So yeah,
it's so sad.
So it just takes the enjoyment out of it, because it's like, oh my gosh, guys, oh my gosh. It's like you're supposed to be playing and having fun, but all you're doing is complaining and blaming other people for your failures, and it's like, well, yeah, I think I'm done now. So.
I'm sad that I'm going to lose out on my logging in 60 days in a row bonus.
Oh no.
Which is a key. A key! The most valuable thing you can get, except coins.
True.
Like that time they gave me 2,000 coins.
You're going to be
That's like 10 keys.
Dude.
Yeah, I won't be able to log in from the south, because I will not have my console or my laptop, because they're heavy. And I don't want them stolen.
They won't get stolen. Just take them with you. Nobody steals things at Disney. Happiest place on earth.
I wonder, like, you know how paper is sort of made for a certain humidity?
I did not know that article.
I don't think they do it consciously. It's just like they make the paper, and it's like, well, it's flat and not soggy, so must be good. But then you take that to another climate, and then it's like, this paper does not work here at all. That happened to me. Like, we bought a photo album thing from Jamaica and brought it back to Wisconsin in the winter, and it was like, it did not work. I wonder if consoles have that. Probably not.
I don't think so, because I've moved into various climates over my living time, so I don't think it affects things.
Electronics.
It's like Florida and California are different in terms of humidity and stuff, so it doesn't seem to matter.
So yeah, that's the Paragon update. Yeah, Destiny was insane this week. You died in very strange ways. Like one time, I didn't even know this could happen, and I guess I was usually more careful, so that's why. But I threw a grenade and got detained, and it was one of those like Titan shock grenades, and like,
oh no,
it like stuck to the detainment wall on the inside, like pointing at my face. I was like, oh no. like, who'd have thought?
You would have. You would have.
I guess so.
You never learn, Tropical. You know you're always at risk of being detained, so you should never be using things that could be detainable.
Yeah, the other time was actually a rocket. I fired a rocket. I was like strafing back and forth behind cover. And I fired before I had stepped out far enough by just a little bit. And the rocket clipped the edge of the wall and killed me.
Oh no.
So, not our finest moment.
Good job.
But yeah, I think that's what I've been playing. Oh, I stopped playing Marvel because they're gonna wipe all the characters.
But you loved it.
On May 16th, and I was like, well then. And they changed a lot of things. They like patched it and changed a lot of things. And I was like, this is crazy. I thought this game has been out a long time on PC. And they changed like fundamental things like, oh yeah, we decided the ends of the chapters don't give enough XP. So we changed it to like better reflect what we think people expect. I was like, really? So I was on like the last chapter, but then because of the change, it became like I was not high enough level anymore for that area. I was like, what? So I was like, never mind.
Yeah, I'm hoping with the Star Trek Online and this that maybe there's hope that Knights of the Old Republic can finally come to at least PS4.
That would be cool.
That'd be nice.
I just want to be a Sith.
I understand even single player, like, well, except that you have to play an MMO to get the story. So,
I mean, they made it mostly free to play, so I don't see why it couldn't happen.
MMOs are fun, Tropical. They're just very grindy, and
I think. Well, so I don't know what it's like now, but when I left it, like the areas are huge, like giant, huge, because they're meant for tons and tons of people. And it never seemed like there were that many people, so it was just all this empty space that you had to traverse to do really basic things. I was like, so annoying.
I did kind of miss DC Universe. Because, I mean, that was kind of fun for a while.
Yeah.
But then nobody was playing it, so
That's on PS4.
I had nobody to play with.
That's on PS4, yeah.
It's on.
It's like much better now.
But no one's playing it anymore, so it doesn't matter. So, meh.
Someone out there playing it.
Because it was fun to create your own hero and your own power sets and stuff, and run up walls with super speed and all that fun stuff. But
I think I was always an acrobat. I think only one time did I choose flight.
Oh, I always chose super speed.
Speedster.
Yeah. I enjoyed the Flash's power set. So I was like, oh, I can always do that. I've never actually chose the flight, so I have no idea how that worked.
That one's pretty fun. Yeah, acrobat is like, for a while, it's fun to live in the fiction in your mind, but then, like, this is really slow compared to everyone else.
Yeah, because it was cool to like run from city to city parts or something all over the place. I'm like, I'm super fast. This is great. But then it wasn't great. Then it wasn't good anymore.
Yeah, again, it was like MMO stuff. MMO stuff is just, for the most part, not fun. They put it in there to make sure that people don't run out of stuff to do immediately.
Yeah.
It's just all friction for you to rub up against.
It's like the cactus of gaming activities.
Yeah. But they do it on purpose.
mean, it would be great if there was just like an MMO that you could play with your friends and not have to pay a subscription, and it was fun and didn't have a bunch of unnecessary side stuff in it. But I'm
Yeah.
asking for too much. I'm asking for too much. If only, guys. If only. One day. One day. Destiny could have been that, but then they last gen it, and then it was like, you can have 3 people in your fire team unless you're raiding. And it's like, well, that's good.
Here.
And then they were like, sometimes you run into other squads all of like once, and then you can't really interact with them except for like public events, I guess. And it's just like, oh,
You don't even
yeah.
know that they're squads. It's
Yeah,
just
so it's
like
just like,
random
just
other
random.
people.
Yeah, no, just random people show up. It's like, surprise, we're here. And also, so are you. So it's just like, there's so much potential. I think had it been what they were trying to make it, Destiny probably would have turned out to be far better than it actually was. But since they got limited, it ended up turning out like Destiny, and the rest is history. And I will not be back for number 2, unfortunately. I was like, you showed me what you were capable of, and I was not impressed. So, do not want. Maybe for Destiny 3, once it's like on the PS5 or something, and
I
you
want to
can
see their second attempt.
you can have
Like,
12 people in your squad at once, and then it's all of the squads all of the time everywhere, and
Mag
it
in
can be
space.
random stuff, just like space
Mag in
battles, and
space.
it's like all kind of craziness. Oh yeah, Mag was a thing. The whole man
An
that
army
would
of
that was another
guardians
thing
assaulting a planet.
that's another thing that kind of like it was ambitious, but then didn't kind of turn out how it were they probably intending. Because yeah, that whole 256 people thing was like, man, that's crazy.
That
But
was
yeah,
really fun. I liked it.
because I think I played like the beta for that one, and so I was like, oh, this is a cool concept. But then it's like,
Yeah, I like the beta
I guess
too.
it's one of those things where it's like, well, is it going to just be the same thing all of the time? And then I think it got shut down pretty early too. So it's like, oh, well, there goes Mag. Another ambitious concept gone before its time. And we haven't seen anybody try anything similar since, sadly. Well, that makes me sad. Makes me sad. So yeah, if we can see, like, if they do manage to do something like that with Destiny, then I'll definitely come back. But until then, I don't think 2 is going to live up to expectations because, like I said, I've seen 1, and even with all their improvements, it's like, well, I mean, the Taken King was pretty fun once you had like everything in place. So it's like, okay, this is fine. But then it turned into old Destiny pretty quickly, and it's like, eh, I got other stuff to play on now, I guess. So I
I mean, the
slowly.
best times I think have always been like when we were raiding.
Yeah.
Well, that's only because it was us. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't Destiny that was making it fun. It's just because of the people that were there.
That's why
So
I kind of feel like free to play is sort of fair, because it's like a lot like almost every free to play game is multiplayer in a way. And the thing is, like, yeah, you may have made it the rules and stuff, but we make it fun. So, it
yes,
is fair that we do not pay you for this game because we are making it fun.
it's like we're the ones who. I mean, you put the framework there, but we're the ones actually giving it substance,
Yeah.
giving it heart. So it's like I don't know. But yeah,
Yes,
like I
we're the
said,
ones that
unless
supplement the soul that is non-existent in your soulless product.
basically.
Exactly.
So unless I see like, so I mean, like I said, if they do something like crazy like that with the new Destiny, I mean, now that it's not tethered to the last gen stuff, maybe they could, but it's one of those things like I am not going to be one of the guinea pigs for
Yeah.
that. So
Someone else take that bullet for me, as I
yeah,
like
I'm
to
about to
say.
say it's like I'll wait until like year 2 of Destiny 2 and then see how it goes, and then be like, oh, so this turned out a lot better than Destiny 1 did, and then maybe when the Super Game of the Year edition comes out, and it's like
Oh
$20 on
yeah, they do
sale on
do
Amazon,
that for Destiny Rise
then
of Iron sometimes. It's like
Yeah.
super cheap as all this stuff.
You're like, oh yeah, because I mean, I think even when Taken King came out, they did that with like the Legendary Edition or whatever it's called or something when they had like all of the expansions in it, and they had them for like basically like $30 for
Yeah.
the whole thing.
It's
But
like, sure,
yeah,
you won't know about when Mythic Class was like destroying people in Crucible on a daily basis, and when people were
Why do you want that?
were breaking controllers because they couldn't get booster drop in Vault Glass. But it's okay. You don't want any of that. It's
yeah,
the good part now where it doesn't do that to you.
let the whole thing go, and then when you finally got them like in year 2 or whatever, it's like, well, they're useless now, so it's like, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, but like when Mythic Class first came out, that was not a fun time because I was like on the other end of Mythic Class when someone first got it, and I was like, this doesn't seem like a fair gun because it was like shredding people. I was like, this probably should be not allowed in multiplayer because this does not seem fair at all. So yeah, because it was just like eating people alive. Just people just running around. And all you would see just like killed by Mythoclast, killed by Mythoclast. It's like since it was so rare, it's like it'll be like the one guy just murdering everybody. Especially like in Control when he's taking on like the entire team by himself. It's like, well, I don't think this is fair.
This feels broken.
Yeah, I'm saying we might have a problem when it requires all of us to like super him all at once to stop him. There might be a problem. It's like there might be a slight issue with the gun. There weren't enough blade dancers in a world to stop that thing. Not enough blade dancers. That was like, I remember when they used to be broken before like everything.
Run!
Like panic.
Only Destiny users will know running away from other characters in a PvP match because they will kill you and you can't kill them.
That was hilarious. It's like I remember not even because I started with the Warlock, so it's like I did not know how broken the Blade Dancer was until it was too late. Until it was too late. So like this is fine. This is fine. Yeah. But like I said, games like this they're fun when you're playing with like people you know to make it fun. It's like some of them aren't like fun on their own because like I've played some of these games when it's just been me and I was like, it doesn't have the same
I
matchup.
think that could be our weekly segment. Is like if playing games with people you know, it makes a game better than just randoming it with randoms. Is it the game or is it your friends that make the game good?
Is there songs about random people? I'll figure that out later.
Secret lovers?
No, not Secret Lover. That doesn't.
I guess that's more of a secret, not random.
But so it's like they meet each other. It's like I'll figure it out. It's fine. I'll figure that out. But yeah. But anywho's, I don't know. Wait, was Tropical finished?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so yes, played Paragon. And yeah, like I said, I don't like people now, so that's good.
Is that different though than before?
Well,
No, just the not liking people.
I mean, it's just like more so now than I mean, I feel like it's gotten worse since the game.
I don't know what happened then. That's weird. Or I guess more people play it now, so maybe that's what happened.
Like it's more noticeable.
It was only the dedicated who wanted everyone to have fun so that they would have people to play with before, and now it's like the randos who are just like, I heard this is good.
Yeah.
Oh, people aren't playing the way I want to play. I hate people now.
And it's like the entire match. Just like, come on. Like we're supposed to be having fun. We're supposed to be having fun. It's a game. It's a video game. So, yeah. Some Paragon people are the worst now. Yeah. Other than that, I picked up the Caligula effect. I haven't played much of it because I downloaded it and it took forever to download. So, and then when I remembered that I downloaded it, I started playing and I was like, oh yeah, I do have a new game to play now. So, I started it, but haven't got very far in it. But it's about this guy and he's like at school, then all of a sudden everybody's faces start looking all weird, and he's like, "No, what's happening?" And then he turns
It's
out
the
that he's
Caligula
like, title drop. But actually, no, they don't call it that. So, unfortunately, no. At least not yet, anyway. But yeah, so it's like he runs out of the school assembly because he's like, "Oh no, what's happening?" And then he runs outside and he sees like this chick singing because she's an idol or something, and she's like, "Hi, where are you trying to go? We're gonna be friends. Love me," and all this stuff. And then he's like, "I don't. I need an adult." And then she's all like, "You can't leave because this is the world I created." And he's like, "Oh no, I'm stuck inside of this world that you created." And then some guy comes and saves him, and he's like, "Oh, can you see them too?" And then he's like, "Yes, I can." And then they join this club together because they have like he has like friends that could also see the messed up face people. So I mean, I'm sure there's like an actual term for it, but it's fine. It's fine. That's the effect that the game shows them as. So I was just like, the messed up face people. Yeah, those guys should probably avoid them. But then they were just like, yeah, we all woke up here and we can't get out, and it's like, oh no. So then they find this virtual doll. I think she's called or something. She's similar to the idol lady, except that she's all
Miku.
tiny and stuff, and she's like,
Little
oh,
Miku.
I started losing my powers when Muse started gaining hers or something. And it's like, we created this world together. And you're like, why would you do that? Why would you trap us in this world? And they're all like, because I wanted people to be happy. And he's like, do we look happy? Do we look happy right now? And then the other guy was like, calm down, dude, calm down, calm down. She didn't do it on purpose. So apparently they all got
But
stuck there.
yes, she did.
I mean, yes, but I meant like she didn't like want them to be all like stuck and miserable though. So it's like she tried to help create the world as like an escape for people who had issues in their lives. So now they're all so it's like apparently like people who had like very emotional issues or something, they ended up in this world after hearing a song from this idol chick, and then now they're stuck there and they're like, oh no, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I wanted. I have regrets. So apparently, when people have these emotional outbursts that they can't control, they turn into these messed up face people monsters. And then you have to fight these messed up face people monsters, and you gain the ability to harness your emotions as a power thingy. And that's how that game starts. Because you gain the ability to wield dual guns from your emotions or something. I don't know. But it's like a technical turn-based game, I think, is how it works. But it's like the way you choose stuff. It's you can like chain together commands that you do. It's similar to what's the other game called that I had played? Exist Archives. I was like, it's like where you can like do multiple attacks per turn per person. So it's like, but I mean, at the moment, I only have like the one guy who could actually fight right now, so only he does it. But you can like chain together attacks and like create like these like combos, and it before you like actually execute them, it does kind of like this what they call it, like an imagine feature, where it shows how the scenario is going to play out when you choose the attack. So you see your character like performing these attacks and how the enemy is going to react and everything before you actually choose to execute it. So it's kind of like a imaginary play by play. And then if things go how you want them to go, you can execute it and then it'll do it and stuff like that. So and you can like counter attack and stuff based on that. So it's a pretty interesting take on the turn-based style thingy, so it's cool. But I since it's like similar to Persona, I'm guessing that I mean like I'm worried that I'm gonna like inevitably end up not liking it or something because it's gonna be like, well, it's not Persona, so I can't like love it like I love Persona. So hopefully it'll like differentiate itself soon enough where it's not gonna be too similar to it. But the guy who's like in charge of the development or whatever used to work for the Persona team, so that's probably why it has similarities and whatnot. But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. I also have more games coming out this month, so hopefully I can make some headway before that happens. The Surge comes out in a couple of weeks. The Surge. It's like sci-fi Dark Souls.
Oh yeah, I saw gameplay of that. I kind of want to play it now.
Of course you do.
Cause it was like
Because it's
it was exoskeletons and super sci-fi and like cyberpunk, and I was like, I kind of like this. I kind of like this art style. I might have
That's
to
what
play
I
this.
told you before, and you're all like, I don't wanna. I was like, but you have to, Tekken. You'll probably love it because you like sci-fi stuff. But you're being all difficult. Being all difficult. So you should get it. You'll probably love it. But other than that, I've also been playing Persona 5, of course, because it's Persona 5. So, um, I think I think I'm like in the end game now because like all of like the reveals and stuff started happening, and they're like, this guy's behind the Rampage incidents and stuff. So it's like, oh no, we know the truth and all this stuff. Although it was pretty obvious who it was. Like I don't know if it was intentionally obvious, which now I'm suspicious of because that means something else is probably going to happen.
Fake out.
Yeah, so I was like, this is a Persona game, so something worse might be coming down the pipeline. Because it's like because like I mean, there's hints early in the story where when you meet certain characters, there's things that happens where it's like, that's suspicious, and then they bring it up like later on, and then once you get the reveal, it's like, well, I kind of knew, because yeah. This is suspicious. This stuff is suspicious. So I'm wondering if it was intentional or not. So we shall see. We shall see. I think I'm in what is possibly the final palace, but like I said, it could all be one big fake out. So we shall see how that goes. We shall see how that goes. But still enjoying it so far. I think I'm like 80 something hours in now. So yeah, fun times. That's pretty much all I've been playing.
Alrighty then.
Indeed.
So Evans, after you finish the game RPG, is that when the darkest timeline ends, and then we all meet our doom?
Darkest timeline. Well, I mean, we could maybe like use my patience for Kingdom Hearts 3 to keep us going.
I don't know how it works, but I guess that would be great because I don't know when that's coming out.
Never.
I don't
You
think
better
anybody
hope it
knows
never
what's
comes
coming out. Not even.
I don't think Square Enix even.
Fullmetal Setsugeki, not even Nomura.
Yeah, he does not.
Did you hear this thing? Like lots of scientists now basically believe that the end is or extinction of man is close.
No, I did not talk. Had I, I would have been even more anxious and crazy.
I was about to say, it's like he would have been
like
more the case.
Within either the next generation or 100 years. So 2050 or
first.
whatever 100 years is from now.
Depending on whenever Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, basically. Because
and it's crazy, like
my willpower.
Well, I saw the headline and I was like, so yes, we have had actually many apocalypse predictions in the past decade or so. You know,
2012.
Y2K, 2000, 2012, all that stuff. And it's like, but this is the first time that it's like scientists who are predicting it.
Not just like some random cuckoo banana man. He's like, I saw it in the stars.
This is kind of creepy.
I seen it, y'all.
And like, okay, do tell.
My number code. I saw it in my crystal ball, y'all.
I did see something weird about like the universe collapsing, but I didn't read up on it, and I was like, whatever. That's some like Reaper Dark Energy crap. I don't have time for that. So.
Yeah, like the one that I thought was most interesting was it was talking about how antibiotics are basically the key to all of our medical advances that we've made. Like, we can cure, we can like cure cancer now, but it relies on antibiotics to like fight off infections. And so if the superbug appears, the antibiotic antibiotic resistant superbug appears, then all the advances we've made are just lost.
I watched a couple documentaries about that.
Good times.
I'm like, I'm hoping I'm dead by things. I don't want to die by some super disease that can't be attacked at all.
You'll be fine. Don't worry. I told you. My sheer willpower. Sheer willpower. It's going to keep us going.
Up to RPG to
you
save
guys better
us
hope
from
none of the
end.
games I want ever come out, because we're screwed. We are screwed.
Good thing you weren't waiting for The Last Guardian, Shenmue 3, and...
Right? Because we would have been like... we would have been... We're done here.
Unless they can just keep going it and keep doing it, and then that way, it won't all fall on RPG. Like, there will be lots of people out there to sustain us. Like, Shenmue 3 isn't out yet, so there are some Shenmue 3 people out there who maybe are holding up the sky.
They don't have the power of the will that I have. They don't have the power.
Sony is making all these things reality. What happens when all of them are out? Is that the end? Is that the end of the timeline?
That's one of the signs of the apocalypse.
Why are you remastering Crash?
That could all
happen. Do it. We would be okay.
Warned ourselves. We warned ourselves, and it happened. So yeah, we'll be fine for the next 2 years at least. 2 years. I'm guessing Kingdom Hearts 3 will be out at least like 2019-ish. So, you have a couple more years to revel in being happy and alive.
I want to go to Star Wars Land.
Well, you better go quickly.
That's another thing.
Are they going to call it Star Wars?
The trilogy will be done. Episode 9 will be out, which is like a whole thing that like nobody ever thought would happen.
And they moved it up to May, so 2019.
Doomed.
Hold out hope and be like, please Disney and executives, R2D2 C3PO spinoff. Do a movie, make it happen. I will wait for eternity for that.
Did you ever see there was like a mockumentary about R2D2?
No.
They like made an official one. I bought the DVD, like it's on its own DVD, and it's about R2D2. I guess
everybody's problems.
No, he's like not very good on the set, and people have complaints about him. I don't understand why, like, when people do these like fanfic things, like the characters are always really messed up. Like, have you ever watched any like Mario things on YouTube that like fans have made? It's like, Mario in the real world, and he's always like, a drunk dude or like a druggie, and he's like really mean to Peach, and she's like, it's just like, why is it always like that?
Because it's like the behind the music of like, it's not so great.
It's like everything, everything is not sunshine and rainbows.
On the surface, it's like, oh man, this must be great. Here are the Mushroom Kingdom, going through stomping Goombas, but actually, the truth is much darker.
It in fact is not. It's like, how many times can one woman get kidnapped? Starting to think she likes it.
I didn't watch much behind the music. Was it always like?
There's like a formula.
Stuff is going down.
It's like,
you always
like the rise. Things are.
You never
cool.
watch the second half of the show, basically, if you want to stay happy.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh yeah, I was at the top of my game, but then when we return, how everything went horribly wrong.
Yeah, it's like rise, fall, and then like return.
I think that's what the R2D2 mockumentary was based off of. Then it's in that style. Oh, now that one Simpsons episode makes a lot more sense.
Behind the laughs.
I was given anti-growth hormones.
Like, yeah. So if you always just don't watch the second half, and then you can watch like the very end of it when they're like, "But I'm making my comeback though.
I've been in rehab.
I'm gonna
You know,
I've
I'm
been
clean.
doing this. I'm doing this now,
Everything's
and
good. I'm writing a
I'm
book.
happy again. I haven't killed any more family members."
Speaking tours.
So yeah,
I do
yeah,
community work.
So I think they always intentionally choose like certain types of people to be on shows or like to feature on stuff like that. So just like the rises and then just like, yeah, we were at the top of the world, we were doing this and this and this. And then there's a commercial break and it's like, but when we return, how it all went horribly wrong. And then they just show them like in their little interview thing, it's like, and I tried so hard. She's like, don't think I'm gonna keep watching now. So yeah, all the time, all the time.
Okay, so weekly segment. What are we doing this week?
I have no idea. I thought that's what we were doing.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, we talked about
Filling
the
the
games.
air.
The games. Do they make
Speaking
themselves
of
fun, or
random,
is it your friends or something or whatever? That one.
let's see, what song is something about randoms? Hmm. Somebody
Well,
look up hookup songs, quick.
What?
Well, I mean, they have to have plenty of songs about hooking up with random people. I mean, that's obviously how that works. So,
I feel like that should be true, but I can't think of any.
wait.
That
Hmm.
feels true.
That's what I'm saying. Like in the back of my mind, it's like I've heard so many
Truthiness.
of these songs, but I can't think of one specifically. So.
Yeah, it's definitely people, your friends,
Yeah.
and even like randoms in a way.
I think only like the really, really, really like legendary best of all time games are like the ones that you can just pick up and play whatever and be like, oh man, I'm playing with this random person, but it's fun. Because I read there's like an article on News Gamer about the impromptu Switch Mario Kart matches that people were trying to have.
Hmm.
But nobody has Switches, so it's like they kind of tried. But then they just end up showing it off, but they still had a
Like
good time.
Switch Ambush.
So it's like
It's like,
Nintendo
hey,
games
you
are
gotta.
probably on there. Because it's just fun. It's a fun time with random people. Stranger danger, but you're safe because you're with Nintendo.
I mean, I've had some good times and some bad times. Like it's like because there was like I remember like one of the earliest like good times I had was like my Canadian bro from Army of Two, way back when that game was out. Wait, what system was that on? It was PS3,
PS3,
right?
yeah.
That was
Yeah,
PS3.
it's like, and it's like, and we just like high fiving each other, and it was just like, it was a good time. It was a good time. We even like, you ended up like friending each other on the PSN because we're just like, yeah, this is fun. This is fun. Even though you're a stranger I don't know and from Canada, it's like, this is cool. This is cool. Not all Canadians are weird, so this is fine. So, I mean, there have been some good times, but I mean, I think that's kind of like luck of the draw though, because I think
Yeah.
from my other experiences, however, it's like majority is like oftentimes the people where it's just like, wow, I really don't like playing online ever because you're all the worst.
See, to me, it's like
You're,
so weird because after Destiny, I was really hoping every game would adopt that style of like, if you're not in a fire team or party with this person, you cannot hear them. So when I went to play Mass Effect 3, and I saw like the mics, and I was like, wait a minute, they can hear me. And I was like, but I heard stuff. I was like, and I can hear them. It's like, no. So I was like, it totally like just like it made me like have like a minor panic attack of like, do something fucking tell me. I don't do around these randoms. And so I had to like make my own party and be like, okay, I solved it. Just put myself in a bubble. Just make a party for myself. And then I don't have anybody else. Because I think for me, it's like, just going back to like the Gap Game nights is, it's like I will play with my friends, and then we always have a good time. But once you're in some random bar somewhere with random people around, it's like who knows what type of bar fight's gonna break out and be all ruining the mood.
I mean, because like even Gap nights, like even with like Gap people I don't like, it's still like more fun to play than with like randoms because it's just like I don't know. It's like it's just some of them are just so toxic. Like I don't, I don't like it. I don't
This kind
like
of makes
it.
me think of the Real ID thing Blizzard had back in the day that they like didn't do, and I
Mm.
really wish they would have did that because I wonder if like that would have cut down on it
Like
as far
people
as
hiding
like
behind their anonymity
yeah
or
finally dropping the veil of anonymity online.
Yeah, because I
I
think
mean,
that's
I
part
feel
of
we
it.
give
like
so much information now to the NSA. I mean, it's it's kind of, might as well do it. Just saying. PSN, if you're listening. You know where I'm at, what I'm doing, unless I put that duct tape over my webcam. So yeah.
Duct tape over your webcam.
I mean, I don't have normal tape, so and you can't see through your duct tape, so that was weird, but whatever.
That's not gonna stop them. Silly goose.
Maybe they can hear me right now.
They can.
So, all those times RPG said things about going to Square Enix and doing things. I was totally not part of that plan. Just saying. Just throwing it out there.
He was. He's all there, guys.
Still applaud by him.
Hi, government. Yeah, could you imagine if they were like listening if they were actually listening to our podcast? They're like, these guys are. Yeah, that'd be weird. That would be weird.
It's like, all right, guys, it's Tuesday night. You knew the drill. It's just.
I'm about to say it's like it's time.
Get away from all the crazy surveillance we're doing on everybody and enjoy this aimless hour. Because man, these guys are great.
That would be hilarious if, like, one day, like, I mean, like, could you imagine, like, if they, like, sent a message, like, sometime down there, it's like, guys, we really were listening. We enjoyed it.
It's like, subject, we really were listening, user, you know who.
Thank you.
You know who this is. Because we know who this is. It's like, yes, you do know who they are, because we know who, or whatever RPG always says. It knows who it is, and we know who we are.
Who it is. Yeah, it's true.
And we've been listening this whole time. Creepy.
Thanks for listening, government people. Glad we could entertain you. We're glad we could entertain you. But yeah, back to the topic thingy though. I think, well, like Tekken was saying with the whole like not having the mic work if it's not I think I kind of liked that type of thing where it's like they can't communicate you if you're not in the communicate with you because I feel like that would probably cut down on some of the because like then I don't have to hear you or see. Like I wish they would do that for like text chatting too. So it's like if they're not in the party, you just can't see or hear anything they're doing. It's just like it's not. You're just playing. I don't have to hear you. I don't have to see you. I don't have to breathe in your toxic breath. And it's like I can just enjoy myself.
Yeah, because like, to me, it's like a glaring red herring of like how this issue is not getting any better. Because I stopped playing Call of Duty with Modern Warfare 3, and then like I'm pretty sure this is still like a thing that's like an issue of like if I jump in to play Call of Duty, there's still gonna be people, all the racial slurs and euphemisms and swear words. It's like, dude, come on, like have we not made any progress in this? Whatever.
Well, I mean, gamer swears a lot too, though. So it's like we did have that, but it's like, but I mean, like it's different because it's gamer, so. I mean, you're okay with it.
Swears a lot.
Well, yeah, obviously, it's gamer. Yeah, but it's like, because like even when that's kind of like why I kind of stopped doing like L4G or something like that
or LFG.
LFG. I was like, what is it?
I've never used LFG.
I've used it a couple times, but then it's like when I used it, I was like, this is why I only raid with these guys because I do not enjoy this at all.
Actually, that is like, a good point, RPG, because we have so many horror stories of LFG and just like so many weird people. And then like when I'm not there and I hear Gamer or Zaffro's stories, and it's like, man, this is why I only play with these
people. Like I've played with this before.
Oh, glad I wasn't like that.
The worst, and it's just like they'll be like bad mouthing people because like you basically have to use the party chat whenever you do that for like Destiny, so you can like coordinate. But it's like these people are just awful, and I'm just like now I see why I don't play with strangers because you guys are all terrible, and I think you're all the worst. So like 90% of the time, I just wouldn't even talk whenever I did do LFG because it's just like. I don't want to contribute to whatever's going on here because if I say something, I'm going to hurt somebody's feelings, and I just don't want to do this. I just don't want to do this right now. So it's like I'll just play my role. Hopefully we get done with this quickly, and then, of course, it was never the case because there would always be somebody who couldn't keep up, and then they're just like, "Oh my gosh. Where do we find you? We can't. Oh my gosh, you suck. Oh my gosh, go back to your mom and do this." And it's just like, oh my gosh, this is happening right now. This is my life. This is my life right now. I can't. I don't want to. I don't want to. So then it's like, and it was always inevitable whenever it's like for raids where you have like those parts, like the fun platforming segment in was it Crota's or
It was
Oryx's
Vault
one that
or in
had like
Crota.
the
Oh,
ships
in
that you
Oryx.
had to like ship across.
Yeah.
Because that was, oh my gosh, that was like, I think I did. I think I did it twice for LFG, and I was just like, this is not. This is not fun. This is not fun at all. Because like the guys are just like, oh my gosh, you don't know how to jump, you don't know how to do this and this and this, and I was just like, why don't you just go show him instead of yelling across the mic, because that's not helping the situation at all. So it's just like, oh my gosh, people are just the worst. People are just the worst. They're just like, you should erase Destiny, you shouldn't be playing anymore, and all this other stuff. It's like, it's like, guys, oh no, I have to go to work now, so you're gonna have to replace me. Sorry. Oh no, bye. And then I would like 9 times out of 10 just leave and not finish the raids because it's just like people are just awful, just awful. So it's like, because like nobody has patience, nobody wants to like help anybody who doesn't already know how to do stuff, and it's like, well, what do you mean you never done this raid before? How do you not know all the mechanics? It's like, you could just teach them. It's not hard. Like, just like, what are you doing right now? So it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous sometimes. I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. So I just like, eventually I was just like, you know what? I'm just not gonna play these games anymore unless it's like with people I know, because just about everybody on the internet is awful, and they continue to prove me right at every turn. So. Thank you, Internet. Thank you for being full of terrible people. Because, yeah. Yeah. Terrible people.
It is crazy that no progress has been made on this front. Like, I haven't even heard of anyone trying to make progress. The last time I heard anything about it was like League of Legends, maybe 3 years ago, and I don't know what happened with that.
It's possible that they just kind of just figured, well, you can't actually stop it, or they just don't care enough to try. And then, like, their only solution is to just, like, well, we'll ban the people who get reported enough, and then hopefully that does it. So, yeah.
Crazy.
It makes me sad.
There has to be like a way to make it better though, because it seems like if there's some sort of like judicial system in every online infrastructure thingy, like PSN, Xbox Live, like, you know, you're in air quote probation or jail time for like all your bad behavior, maybe it would like have some sort of recidivism or deterrent factor of like people won't be a-holes because they don't want to not be able to participate online.
Well, all right. I guess like Grand Theft Auto 5 had it too, right? Whereas like their solution was griefers would over time only be matched with other griefers. So it'd be like whole rooms of just people who like to grief other people.
It seems
Game
fun.
Maybe that's the solution. Let's put them all together.
Yeah, it feels like no one has really tried to do anything extreme anyway. Like, I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
We talked about, like, I think I always bring up the example of, like, cell phones in movie theaters, right? Like, when cell phones were first starting to be a thing, people just used them everywhere, and it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, I need to take this call. Like, I need to answer this text now. And over time, the movie industry or theater industry, like, social engineered people to not to use them in the theater. And that's sort of happening now with like texting and driving too, right?
That's so terrible, but yeah.
But it's like
it shouldn't have to happen, but yeah, that is true.
It's like they have to like seriously crack down on it to stop it, you know?
Yeah. So it's like I don't see any of that kind of effort happening on the front of like making people better, making online people better.
It would have to be like drastic stuff in order to kind of like prove a point, I guess.
I always thought like it would need to be like a system level thing. So it can't be like every game has something. It's got to be PSN has a thing. Maybe it's like you get a bad mark next to your profile or whatever. And I don't know, maybe it makes it like really easy for people to kick you from a lobby, for example. Because before I was like, oh, it's a bad mark, and then people see it and they're like, oh, and they all leave the game, and then so
it's
this person
scarlet letter.
Mark, yeah, like they can never play basically because no one wants to play with them. But then I thought, well, but matchmaking is like annoying, so why would all the people who don't have bad marks like want to leave a lobby that has already formed? And then so maybe regular times you need like over a majority to kick people, and if they have a bad mark then it's like a fourth or like a third of the people in the lobby. If they want to kick you, then you're just out.
Now, how would one go about getting these bad marks though? Because what if like some jerk face just wants to like screw people over, and then they just gang up on this innocent person, and then that innocent person gets a bad mark?
Well, with the amount of like monitoring and stuff, there should be, however they do it now.
They basically have to have a committee like paying it or like sifting through all of the.
Yep.
That sounds like a fun job.
People need jobs.
That would definitely keep them busy. That's for sure.
Yeah. This is something we haven't figured out how like we could get machines to do it efficiently. So those are the things that are perfect for people.
No, if machines became able to differentiate, that means they're too smart. They're too human.
I was thinking like the machine system could be just super abrasive to where it's like on the system level, like you have to go to like courtesy etiquette like sessions to like get back your
Haha, that would be great. Kind of like traffic school. It's like you have to go to like etiquette, and like you have to like show your certificate and everything in order to get like reinstated to PSN or whatever.
Yeah, it's just like a super abrasive like friction environment of like, okay, so when you're in a lobby, you should not use improper words, blah 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 blah. And it's just like really long and slow and like boring, but like telling you all these things.
And I think you should have like a probationary mark so people know it's like, hey, this guy, he had to go to etiquette class. This guy right here.
So, I mean, I guess what I'm most curious about then is why do you think no one has made something like that?
Because
I think
money.
Some people are. Yeah, but exactly. I was about to say people are scared they'd lose
users.
They'd lose money, and because like if you start banning people, people might be afraid to even do anything, so they might not buy stuff, and they're just like, do I want to risk losing my money just over some people who are terrible and make everybody else feel uncomfortable in the game that they already bought, so I don't care because I already have their money, or like.
I don't care because I already have their money. There you go.
So it's like one of those things, like, I think part of it is like they don't care because it's like, well, once they have your money because you bought the game, they're like, well, we can pretend like we care by doing like the whole banning people if they do anything egregious, but it's like, you can just pretend like we want to make sure everybody is enjoying the game. So, I think,
recently with Blizzard games, the ban hammer is severe. Like, there are no more strikes. So you do something enough and you're just like gone. There's no, like, I can't remember which other games, but a lot of games recently have adopted zero tolerance, which I think you have to do.
Yeah.
If you have exceptions, then it's very hard. Yeah.
Because that's part of the reason, like, I kind of like that I guess like Paragon kind of like adopted like the soft bans kind of, or like the time bans for like when
Mm,
people violate stuff. But the only problem is it's like if something accidentally happens, then it's like you get banned by accident or something because it's like, oh, my power went out, but they're just like, you abandoned the game. You automatically get. It's like I didn't. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. But it's like for people who like draft dodge and stuff, it's good because it's like it kind of it's like, hey, you should probably stop doing this. But the only thing is
mm.
like if you as long as you don't do it again immediately after, you still can kind of get away with it
You
later.
can still do it a lot,
Yeah, so it's just like,
just
well,
not quickly in quick succession.
yeah. So it's just so it's like I think it would have to get to the point where it's like people are taking like extreme measures in order to make sure to ensure that people aren't, being awful, basically.
I mean, so we're talking about this, and I think it has to be brought up though that recent events have shown that maybe the world, maybe like not everyone wants the same thing. Like we would assume that everyone wants to enjoy their time online, playing online games, right?
Yeah.
I no longer believe that everyone believes that.
Yeah, I can't. I agree with you, Chapter, because there's like that whole thing on Destiny, like the matchmaking for the when you're on the forums where it's like, do you want casual or rowdy or whatever? Like some people just want to do whatever or
Yeah.
not be held
And
accountable.
like recent events in the world have shown us that like we don't even
No.
agree on what people want.
Or maybe we're just not seeing everyone's true colors, and they are in
You know,
fact all
we always
terrible
thought that
people.
oh, people want to be happy, but I don't think that's true.
Some people just want to watch the world burn.
And they're pouring gasoline, just waiting for that match to get struck. Just like, yes, burn, burn. Or it could just be like, since they can't find happiness, they want everybody else to be miserable with them. Because like because it's possible that everyone does in fact want to be happy, but since it's not something that's easy to obtain, they're just like, well, I'll just go the easier route.
Or my way of being happy is to ruin other people's happiness.
So
Like
Nothing like a good troll to get me through Saturdays.
that is a really crazy thing to think. Like all of economics is sort of built on the study of economics is built on the assumption that people will like maximize their uh utility. So like people want to do things that they want to do. And I feel like we've learned that that's not true. So many like when your base assumptions are not true, then it's like, do we know anything? Like, and since we can't even know if we know anything, like, how do you even begin addressing the issue? That's where I've come to now in this. I remember in the early days of the podcast, I felt like I was kind of like this activist. Like I wanted, people. I was really against people who were like, oh, folding at home is terrible. Like no, like that is like a really great
it's
thing, and people were
useful
just like
things, yeah.
complaining, oh, they're spending resources not making games and making folding at home, blah, blah, blah. And then yeah, like this whole online how to improve online communities thing. That was something I thought about a lot, and then these days it's like I have no idea. Like if everyone wanted, good online communities, that would be one thing. Then you could be like, okay, how do we achieve that? But it's like we don't know what people want. Some people don't want good online communities. That's what makes them happy. And so like yeah, we're just we don't know anything.
Maybe you could segregate the community and be like, do you want happiness and fun, or do you want chaos and anarchy?
But the people who want chaos and anarchy would just lie and say they
Oh,
want happiness, so they
yeah.
can screw up the people who do in fact want happiness.
There you go.
Didn't Xbox Live have that?
It had like the
They had
different zones, like recreational,
yeah.
family, yada yada yada.
Although
Casual,
it
pro.
never seemed like it
Didn't matter.
mattered.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it mattered. Because I would always get matched up with people like all of them. So it didn't seem like it mattered.
The pros. I think there was like a section for just like people who wanted chaos.
You really do just want to watch the world burn. Like, I haven't seen a good fire in a long time. So yeah, I don't know, man. It'd just be nice if people weren't the worst.
I think, yeah, well, man, I don't know. In the time where I was like, yes, it needs to be an oppressive system where, basically you do everything to keep people in line, to preserve the community for everyone who wants it to be good. And, it's like, you can't argue they're taking away your freedoms. Like, this is a private network. Like, you have no rights here unless they give them to you. But now it's like, I don't know.
Actually, that is an interesting point, because even like Facebook and Twitter have issues with this, and they haven't solved it.
Yeah.
And they're just like massive social networks that are trying to like combat it on a daily basis. Maybe we don't know what people want.
It's about ethics and social media.
Nobody knows anything. It's about ethics and social media. Yeah, like that has not ended. That continues to fester. We just don't hear about it anymore.
That's why people say, don't read the comments, dude. Don't read the comments. That's where that came from. Don't read the comments, no!
No one, I guess it is the money thing. Like, no one has come up with a solution. I guess the internet does bring people together. It's just that some of those people, want bad things. And now they can find all the other people who want that too.
There's a balance in the Force. There can never be just one side. The dark side and the light side.
Both light and dark must coexist. Darkness! Darkness!
Alright, so yeah, maybe there's no solution. But man, the people I play games with, they totally make it worth it more than that game I'm playing, because, oof, things we've done in the raids.
That's true. I probably would have quit Destiny like a long time ago had I not been playing it.
Been playing it.
Just like,
I just got it myself. Yeah.
Like this is not fun times. So yeah.
Okie dokie. So I guess we can move on to the news.
This week, one of those mythical games appeared. After the fall of THQ, everyone's like, oh no, Darksiders 2 is only like part 2 of... Well, there's 4 horsemen, so they've only done 2 of them, so there should be 2 more games, but oh no, it's over. And THQ Nordic was like, no. They've already released remastered PS4 versions of the first 2 Darksiders, and now they have announced Darksiders 3 will be coming out in 2018. Starring...
She's not a horseman, though.
She's not.
Or not one of the remaining ones, anyway. I should say. I mean,
she's Fury.
Because I mean, they already had War and Death, but the other 2 horsemen, I guess, wouldn't like make for very active, fun playing time. Because was it Pestilence and Famine?
Yeah.
So they wouldn't really be like.
I could play a skinny dude. Walk around. I'm so hungry.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
hungry. How he looks at enemy. Yeah, no, I'm feeling it. And then they just like drop.
So basically, combat would be you starving the enemies to death?
Yes, as you walk around and you just look at them. It's a conversation game.
I don't know how fun that would be. Like I don't.
Really? I mean, combat is just animations
Well, I meant,
and pushing button. Like it can literally be anything.
but I mean, like from from what people would be expecting after like the other two Dark Souls games. Like, here's your conversation simulator.
What's a starvation combo look like?
It's like, oh no. It's like not only did they starve, they also dehydrated. Double combo.
I don't know.
Would be weird. I mean, I guess you could do it. I mean, at least with like Pestilence, I guess, because you could like kind of do it like one of those vampiric type games, sort of things.
Oh yeah,
But
predatory stealth game.
yeah, and like be absorbing them into your being. Because I have no idea what the other two games are about, outside of the fact that there's a horseman involved as the lead.
Yeah, like in the first one, someone triggered the apocalypse and war arrived and he was like fighting and stuff. And then like some angel saw him and was like, what the heck? Like this wasn't supposed to happen yet. You have like messed up the natural order and so war had to go like find out what happened or something. And then the second one was like death was also trying to find out what happened after war got imprisoned.
Oh no.
Starting the apocalypse.
War. You started wars like you're supposed to. How dare you?
It's like, I heard the call and I came, but I guess it was a fake.
So who caused it? Who caused it? Did Death ever find out?
I haven't finished either of them. They're like Zelda type games, so they're quite long.
Oh.
But yeah, so that happened. This week they also, or I don't think it was this week, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
It wasn't.
It was like when they announced the release date. I just saw a thing this week about like how it's different from the previous Marvel vs. Capcom. They are like changing it in the name of accessibility. So for example, the ground to air combo that you see all the time, you can actually pull that off now with just one button. You just mash light punch and it'll be like an 8-hit combo. So for the casuals, like you can do cool looking things very easily. And that's cool for them because Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is coming out at a very different time. They said, the article I read said, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came out just before the first Avengers movie, and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is coming out after the 16th Marvel movie. So it's a different time, and they're thinking it was sort of a niche title back then, where it's like this just insane, fast-moving character fighting game, and now it's like there are probably people out there who will want to play it because they like Marvel characters, and so they have to do things like make it easier and like actually have a story mode in there because people care about Marvel stories now beyond just like comic book people.
What's a comic?
Yes. So I found that all very interesting. We mentioned Anita Sarkeesian earlier today. Apparently, the Tropes versus Women in Video Games series is ending. They finished it. It was 2 seasons long with 21 episodes.
But there's so many tropes and so many women.
Well, they're going to do other stuff, but the game series is apparently over.
But there's so many tropes and so many games with so many women.
It's super
and
weird.
People need to be aware of these things.
Like, they started doing reviews from like that point of view. It's effing weird. I was like, man, this is effing.
They're
weird.
doing game reviews?
Yeah. from like the perspective of women are blah 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 in games.
Or being exploited and all that other stuff.
It's effing weird.
That actually sounds interesting.
It's interesting, but man, you watch that and it's like they have nothing good to say, and it's like, wow, this is super from the different perspective that I look at games from.
I think sometimes extreme views have to be done like that. So it's like to prove a point kind of thing. It's like obviously it's ridiculous, but at the same time it's like, makes you think, doesn't it? So
I think it has made people think. I think back to when we were talking about the like first few episodes, and my issue at the time was like these don't seem well researched because it's like these are the most obvious examples I could think of.
yeah.
And I also took issue with her calling developers like lazy. I still think that was the wrong word, but it sort of makes sense. It's like it's not that they're lazy or I also wouldn't use the word thoughtless, but I'm using the word thoughtless. Like take away the bad connotation of thoughtless because it's like it's sort of literally thoughtless. Like they did not think about those things at all because like why would they? They're dudes. Like you don't know other people's perspectives. You're in your own head until someone like makes a series like this, and then you get to see it. It's like, oh, I had never thought about that, and that's not like lazy with the bad connotation or thoughtless with the bad connotation. It's like those things literally. It's like, yes, we did not do that work to look at other people's perspectives because that was not a thing. It was one of those things that you don't know that you don't know. So, yeah, I think it made some impact. I had no idea there were so many though. I thought it was just like those 6 or something from back in the day. It's like, oh, there's 21.
All of the tropes.
So at some point, I guess I'll go watch that. I will binge watch a YouTube series.
Women should be exploited. Playing devil's advocate, obviously I don't believe that. But I'm just saying, like, they I think part of the issue with that series is like they didn't have a devil's advocate kind of situation. Because like at the same time they were calling people lazy and thoughtless, like the series was at the beginning as well. It's like you said, they were picking all the easy things, or just like, but they weren't choosing like any counter arguments. It's like, wow.
Yeah, like they were leaving it very open for people to say, well, what about this? What about this? Yeah. And as a side note to this, I was talking with my wife about this. I actually don't think it's well, it's like minorities, right? Like people, if I, for example, make a driving mistake out in the world, people will look at me and they don't think that guy's a bad driver. They think Asians are bad drivers. and you know, I should not have to represent all Asians.
Your entire,
all the time.
like all of them.
And like that's the thing. Like I think creators should be able to make whatever the heck they want. And you know, if they make sort of a tropey woman's character, they should be able to do that. But so you know, I think the problem is actually audiences. Like I think audiences need to be better. Like they need to be smarter and realize that what you see other people create like does not necessarily reflect like all women, for example.
True. And at the same time they also had like those same things had pretty much like cookie cutter dudes that were just as fantastic as like, women. So it's like, well, it's like not all guys are brain dead muscle heads, so it's like, you know, not a good representation either. But
yeah. So like I understand, you know, like there's a lot of the tropes where it's like the reason that this is bad is because of history. And it's like perpetuating stereotypes is what it's called. And it's like, well, I mean, yeah, I guess that's bad, but people should realize that there are things called stereotypes. It's like they should know, and so they should not assume that the one thing that they saw is like, oh, this now informs my knowledge, like of all things relating to this one thing.
This is what I should base all my future opinions on everything on, because that's how the world operates.
But again, I guess people don't want to be fixed and smart. All right, where was I? Oh yes, E3 is right around the corner, basically.
Yay, it's next month.
We now know that Sony's PlayStation E3 Media Showcase is going to be on Monday, June 12th at
No.
9 p.m. Eastern.
I also work at night. No.
No. So now we know basically the big three when they'll be. Microsoft is doing theirs atypically this year on the Sunday before, where they usually have it on the same day as Sony. EA's thing is going to be Saturday. Bethesda is also doing Sunday, and Nintendo is also doing not one, which is what they always do.
Not one. They're probably doing their direct.
Do we know when that Nintendo Direct's going to be, though, yet?
Nope. They've just said we're not doing a traditional E3 large-scale press conference.
Might be either the
Which they
first
haven't been
day
for years now,
that the
so
show
it's
floor
like...
opens, or the day before the show floor opens.
I hope they do puppets. Man, is this the first year without Iwata?
No, that was last year.
That was last year.
I think.
I don't remember last year's. Oh wait, they did the whole day of Zelda.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild.
I mean, unless you like to look at one game all day.
I mean, the game ended up turning out well, so...
If you're a Zelda fan.
It's a solid B.
Solid 8 as game rating.
All right, a solid 8. B8. They share a similar shape.
They do. They do.
Yes. There's a big sale right now on PSN.
Yay, it's Golden Week.
Golden Week sale, which is a week-long... It's like spring break, I guess, in Japan. They do a lot of sales and stuff.
Because I don't know what Golden Week actually is, but I know
I actually think that's wrong.
games are on
I actually
sale.
think it's not like spring break. I don't remember what it is exactly.
According to Persona, it's about festivities and happy fun
Do they get
times.
the week off?
They do.
Okay, so it's like spring break in that sense.
Students or everybody in the country?
I have no idea. I only know from the perspective from students.
Holidays in this country, we get the entire week off. What the F?
The game is from the perspective of students, so I don't know how the rest of the country functions, but they get to do stuff. So.
Students, then. Like spring break, yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming adults get to do stuff too, but once again, from the perspective of students. So they get to wear kimonos and see fireworks and also dive into dungeons to stop the mental manifestations of society from destroying their world. You know, the usual kid stuff. The usual.
Golden Week is great. Yeah, it's some pretty big deals on like Japanese-y type games. So things like Suikoden is on there, Gradius is on there, Dragon Ball games are on there.
It's like a lot of stuff. It's just like pages upon pages of stuff. I wanted to get Steingates because it's only like $3, and I was like, oh, that's like super cheap. It's like, oh my gosh, and I do need to finish like reading that nice wacky microwave time travel comedy nonsense banana guy. It's like, yeah, fun times.
Also big recent ones: Nier Automata, Final Fantasy 15, Gravity Rush 2. Dragon Quest Builders, I understand, was pretty good.
Yeah, they do have both versions on sale there too. Actually, how long does this sale last? Because I don't know if I have enough space in my Vita for Steins Gate.
It lasts until May 9th at 8 a.m. Pacific.
So I still have time. I wonder what I can clear off my memory card. I might have space. I might have space. But yeah, it's just like a bunch of stuff on sale. So if there's things you haven't had, check out the sale because there's a lot of stuff and there's some quite a few good things too that are on sale. So do not miss out. Do not miss out. If I didn't own most of the stuff I already wanted, be all over that. I would be all over it. So I might just buy random stuff anyway, just in case. Just in case. To keep me busy until The Surge comes out.
And then finally, they announced a new Nintendo DS.
Yes.
Or a new Nintendo 3DS.
Yeah, no, it's new.
Which
Nintendo
is a 2DS.
Not 3DS.
It's the new
But
Nintendo 2DS XL.
Yeah, it's weird.
Which
So
is a
basically
bigger screen
3DS.
version, but also clamshell.
And no 3D.
And no 3D.
It's basically a 3DS without the 3D.
It's the new 3DS without 3D.
Which they could have just did to begin with.
New 2DS.
Yeah.
Which you could have avoided all of this.
Yeah. It's gonna be 150 and comes out.
I'm excited.
When does it come out?
July, I think.
Sometime in the summer.
I do not recall.
It's a summer release.
But yeah, pretty. Not too far off. Yeah, it seems like a pretty good deal. My daughter plays with the 2DS now, but her thing is amiibos. Like, that is her thing, and so we had to get one of those like amiibo reader things for the 2DS because we don't have any of the new 3DS line. And then this one's like, oh, it looks pretty good, and it has the built-in one, and
I do need to replace my actual 3DS anyway because it's broken. But I'm just wondering like how the transfer for data thing works.
You haven't looked it up in such a long time. I'm like, that's a thing, right?
Yeah, that is the worst, really.
So I'll probably just like buy a really big SD card and get all digital because that's the way I roll, and be like, all right, let's do this, and download a bunch of stuff.
All digital on Nintendo is the worst right now.
What? It is?
Yeah, because like, if anything happens to your system, it's like, well, sorry, your games are all gone.
Well, maybe E3 they'll announce some sort of central account.
Yeah, I hope so.
I didn't know that.
That's like the last like terrible thing.
Or you could just spend that $150 towards a Switch.
That would be.
It's basically a 3DS or a 2DS, but console version, kind of. The home console version.
I think I am like growing into the idea of getting one eventually, just because I would want to play console stuff anywhere. Seems like a cool idea, but or for the Pro version or whatever they call their upgraded mini or whatever it's called.
Gonna be the Switch Slim.
Super Switch.
Or the Switch Wii. Or the Wii Switch.
Wii Switch U.
Wii Switch.
Super Switch. Or the
I think
Switch
they should
Classic.
name their consoles after the Mario games. Nintendo 64. Although that was the other way around. And then
like
Wii
Sunshine.
Mario. Yeah. Wii Sunshine. Sunshine Wii.
Switch Galaxies. Switch 3D. Land.
It was like how they escalated Land, World,
Galaxy. Universe.
Odyssey.
Eventually they're going to run out of large scales to do.
That was one of the things that you could hear in Arkham City, right?
Where do we go from here?
The thugs were talking about it.
What are they talking about?
They're like, what's next? Arkham County?
Oh, yeah,
Arkham State?
Yeah.
Arkham freaking world?
Jeez.
Man, if there's an Arkham game on the Switch, I could play. Oh man, anywhere. Too bad we don't know what the third-party lineup looks like for the next 24 months.
We might find out during
Some
E3.
games I don't care about. Oh, I said it. What?
Said it. He did. The Switch is also slightly larger than I thought it was because I saw it in person, and I was
I
like,
haven't
"Oh,
seen
this
one
is."
yet.
Yeah, I saw some. I've seen someone at my workplace using it. And I was like, oh, yeah, one
Some
of those.
some kids brought it to the restaurant. Like two of them brought it to the restaurants, and they were sitting there. I was like, that looks too big to be a 3DS. Oh, I was like, or no, it looks like a Vita. That's what I was like. It's too big to be a Vita. And then I like saw the Nintendo branding. I was like, oh, it's a Switch, duh. So yeah, 'cause they were both using one. I was like, huh, those things are
Do they
so
have it
cool.
propped up on the table?
No, they were holding it to play
Oh,
it.
and there's like a
I don't,
bunch of Gap dressed people all around them.
'Cause I don't know what they. Well, no, there were two children with their parents. So
Oh,
don't think that they were not. They were not a commercial. They were not a
that's
commercial.
just not what I've been led to believe about this system.
You would think, right? I know it's like,
Yeah,
based on commercials,
where's
there are a bunch of
where's
like
the
20
people gathered
somethings
around them
gathered around
watching?
with beer cups and watching this. It's like, yeah, no, they were sitting at the table with ignoring their macaroni and cheese to play the Switch. So that was happening. And I was
Were they
like, kids,
playing Cooking Mama at the restaurant?
I do not know what they were playing because they're the way they were facing because like they were sitting in one of our big booth things and there was only like four of them. I don't
Mm,
know how my hostess sat them there, but it's like they were so it's like their back or like they were facing like their backs were towards the wall, so it's like I could only see the back of the switches. I couldn't see
mm.
I couldn't see what they were actually playing. I mean, we do have big mirrors there, so I probably could have just looked in there, but I was like, it'd be weird if I was like peering over their shoulders, like, "Hey, what you doing?"
They brought the console, and the commercials show that that's what you're supposed to do.
Right?
Gather around and what are you playing?
Hey, what you got there? Hey.
What you got there, kids? I got candy in my
It's
in
the
my van.
yeah, it's like the reverse
Uh,
Stranger Danger. Where it's like a lure.
I got some cool candy in my van. If you want to show me what you're playing, or Switch. It's like, you need an adult? I'm an adult. Come on. So yeah, but yeah, I didn't see what they were playing. But I
I
mean,
just heard
they're
Ace
only
Dog in my head.
I don't know how many games were out at the time. Because like the Switch was more recently released at the time when I saw these
Mm.
kids. So
There's actually a release trailer for the Nerder Shippuden collection, which has like all of them on the PS4
Oh yeah,
remastered. And I saw that, and I
Legacy.
was like, I can finally
Naruto.
play all the ones I passed up because they've been remastered. Yes.
They're
And since
pretty.
I haven't been able to see the cartoon, I can be like, all right, let me play through the story and see what happens. Like Budokai. Well, I guess unlike
No,
Budokai, since I actually watched the series for that one.
I don't know
It
how
more or
faithful.
less covers the story.
Okay,
There are parts that you will be lost though. You'll be like, I don't understand. And it's not quite as I guess emotionally impactful when they skip details.
Because, man, I do not have time to watch any shonen right now because, yeah, games to play, dude.
they last forever. Although Naruto's ended already, so they've already moved on to the
They've already
kids.
started the next generation.
Yeah,
Yeah, when I
they've
saw that, I
moved.
was like, dude, I'm behind. I'm never catching up.
You are
That's
not.
why I've just like skipped the rest of the series and started watching the new one,
I
which
mean,
is only 4 episodes in.
I read the manga, so it's like I already knew how it was
Still
going
need
to
to
end. So I
watch
didn't watch
Attack on
stuff.
Titan on Netflix because season 2 is out, and I am a whole season behind.
Yeah, I mean it's the short season though, so you'll probably be fine.
Yeah, season 2 is short.
So you'll be just as confused as you were going in as you were coming out. Or coming out as you were going in.
So far, yes. Oh, that was a game I've been playing. I played a lot of Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I saw on the PS4, and I was actually gonna message you and be like, "What are you doing? What is this tropical?"
The game is like ridiculous. Or I don't know anymore because watching season 2 of Attack on Titan is like the show is not really what I thought it was. You know, like season 1 was very like despair driven and I thought it was really cool. I mean, sad of course, but it was very cool how they played it. It was like,
I love seeing everyone die.
yeah, the
Yay.
setup is very traditional. Like, yeah, we've done the training and we're like we got the tools, we got the talent, and they
And they
go
got
out
AIDS.
and they got hate. Everyone got hate. It's like, wow, those people I've been watching for a few episodes like just died just like that. It was like not dramatic at all. It was just, oh, they're gone.
It's like, oh.
Nothing to bury, nothing to mourn.
I mean, there
Just
were.
like
I
gone.
mean, there were some moments of like the girl trying to like resuscitate the half body thing. That was kind of like, oh, this
But
is
like the actual
dark.
death was just
Oh yeah, it was like just
like
it happened already.
yeah, like TV death in America, you spend the whole episode and everyone talks about their memories and stuff of the main character who just died the previous episode probably. And this is just like there's no fanfare. It's like, oh yeah, they're
It's
just
true.
gone.
Like this is the world you live in. This is the world you live in. It's like, oh, yay,
But then like
yeah.
season two has not been like that. Like people people whose names you know, like a lot of them are not dying. And it's like, this situation seems like far more dire than anything I've ever seen in the show, and yet most everyone lived.
Well, it's because like this, like after the whole wall reveal, like I was telling you, it's like it's more of a mystery arc, which
Yeah.
past that. So it's like because like up to where they are in the manga, I mean, well, they have moved back onto the action currently, but it's like there was more focus on like the backstory and it's like trying to figure out where the Titans came from or why they exist kind of situation, as opposed to oh no, we're getting eaten again. We need to
To
take back
stay
this mall and all that stuff. So but they have moved back towards that now because they've
Mhm.
discovered who the traitors were and everything. So.
So like the game obviously a game in which you're just like dying left and right is
It would not be fun.
now that
It's
I'm
also
saying
called Dark
it, like
Souls.
that is kind of fun. Yeah. I I don't like killing Titans in Attack on Titan the game is really, really easy. Or not really, really easy, but pretty easy.
Compared to
You're
what you've
killing
seen.
like 40 or 50 of them by yourself every level.
As opposed
Yeah,
to taking
compared
like
to what you've
10
seen on
people taking
TV.
down one. Yeah. It's just like, and even then,
It's
they've
like,
lost like
well,
half their
yeah,
staff.
like my allies, like four of them are looping around this thing, but they're not really doing anything. And I just loop in once and like, oh, it's dead. On
Can
to the
the
next one.
can the AI kill the Titans? Or is it just basically you doing all the heavy lifting?
No, yeah, they can kill the Titans if you tell them to. Or
Oh,
occasionally they do it on their own as well. And then you're like, oh, I missed because you killed it and it fell down.
it's like, whoops.
Now I found myself in an awkward position on the ground. Yeah, it is insane because of the movement in Attack on Titan. It's you're basically Spider-Man in Spider-Man 2 the game, but like fully upgraded. So you're just zipping around like so fast around the city.
Yeah, I think that's what
And
people called it. It's like it's steampunk Spider-Man. Is what they
I
called Attack
know.
on Titan when it initially like came, or like when the series initially came out. They're like, yeah, it's like steampunk Spider-Man, except everybody dies. It's like, oh, ah,
And yeah, I've just like I've got this pattern down where I'm just like zipping through the city so quickly, and then the like a yellow arrow will appear near your character, basically showing, oh, there's a Titan you can lock onto nearby. So you hit lock on, and then the camera shifts so that it can see both of you. And usually, because I was going so fast in one direction, the camera will switch like to in front of me, and like be showing me and the Titan that I flew over. And the Titan will look up and see me, but it's sort of like too late. Like they can't spin around that quickly, I guess. And so I will already have latched onto its neck and be on my way back. And then you just hit attack once, and it's like, "Hooah!" And it slices through its neck, and it's like, well, that one's dead.
it's sweet juicy neck meat. Sweet juicy neck meat.
So yeah, I guess the game is pretty fun. I suppose like it is. You know, Spider-Man 2 swinging around was really fun. The Attack on Titan swinging
I
around is
wonder how fun it would be if they would have made it like more like difficult, like the show. It's like if it took like it was like more difficult to actually kill the Titans. Like
yeah.
you had to have like your full squad like dialed in. It's like guys, we got to coordinate to do this.
Well,
'Cause
I guess it's a Musou game, and 40 Titans is a lot. It's like the
it is.
2,000 enemies that you kill in other Musou games.
It is.
It took me a long time to figure out Like one of the trophies is get S ranking in all of the story missions. And I could never get S ranking. Like I kept trying and I would get S missions completed, S like time for the entire chapter, and then A for Titan like takedowns. I was like, why? And then finally I figured it out, and it's like I wasn't killing enough of them. So I basically now just like zip around the area and just like kill every single Titan. So by the end of
Everything
every
dies
mission, it's like
tonight.
everything is gone, everything is dead.
Everything dies tonight.
There's a lot of game, even though there's only 4 chapters of the story, because there was not that much Attack on Titan when the game came out.
Yeah, I was just about to say it's
It
like
was just
even
the
if
one
they're
season.
and now the Titans have gotten even harder to kill in the manga. It gets weird and difficult. They develop new weapons though, so it's fine.
All right, so that's all I've been
I've been-
playing.
Oh. So on to the middle segment.
Doom, darkest timeline.
Darkest time. Darkest time.
Guardians is out tomorrow.
It is. But I have to
And
go
by
to
tomorrow,
work.
I mean Friday. Is that tomorrow? Maybe.
Tomorrow's Thursday.
Some
I think
places.
it's tomorrow.
Maybe some
Pretty sure
places
it's tomorrow.
Yeah, like the midnight show or the late night show is on Wednesday. I mean Thursday. It will be the show.
Galaxy. It is probably too late to marathon through all the MCU movies now.
You think?
Maybe.
I mean, you basically just have to watch them back to back to back to back to back without rest. And you might die.
Well, if there's 16, then it's like 32 hours, right?
Well,
Probably more than that.
in theory.
If they're all 2 hours long, but they're all probably a bit longer than 2 hours. Some of them.
Some are actually longer.
I was just about to say, some are actually even longer
I think
than
the
that.
early like Thor and Captain America were shorter, but yeah, they've gotten longer. I think Civil War was like 2.5 hours.
It was.
Anyway,
So-
in case you can't tell, I've already told all the news that I know of.
Yay!
And have gone into Aimless Land after a brief detour back to what we've been playing.
We love Marvel. Yay!
Yep.
Marvel's fun. Yay!
Although I still think I like DC better.
What's wrong with you? Yay!
I've been reading lots of things, or not lots of things, but occasionally I will stumble across something that is another article defending Batman versus Superman, and I read them and I was like, "That is yes, I agree with this." Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman together is like it was really good.
I disagree, but it's fine. Yay! I actually saw Batman vs Superman again recently, and I was just like, yeah.
I think the problem people have with it is that, or both of them, is that like they are more serious than people want their superhero things to be. They want them to be more fun.
I mean, it could still be serious and fun.
I mean, yes, they definitely can. Like Civil War, I think.
Because I'm about to say Civil War was,
the
yeah, I'm about to
soldiers
say it's like, because it was pretty dark.
But like,
out of that, but
you know, I guess they don't. And for me, like, I am totally okay with them not being fun at all. Like, and yeah, I don't think most people agree with that.
And
so
if
they watch
anything, they
these
need
movies
to-
as like they're really boring.
they need to be like, they need to differentiate themselves. Because I mean, otherwise people just be like, oh, you're trying to copy Marvel. So it's like, they need to do something that's not the same.
I'm worried that they'll do that. I have thoroughly enjoyed this like very different take.
That being said, I do want to see Justice League. So
yes, but see that's already past post criticism, so they may decide, all right, let's just copy what Marvel's doing.
No, don't do it. Don't feed into it. Do your own thing. It's not your fault Suicide Squad wasn't great. It's fine.
Yes, it is.
It kind of was, but I'm trying to be nice, so that way they keep trying.
But I guess we can take that off
Sirens
the
might
air.
be pretty good too. Yes. That is all we have for podcasting.
So find us by Googling Aimless Podcasts.
Look at your Twitter.
That's the easy way.
Do all of the things to the internet.
Do it. Yeah, I'm laying down, so I'm just gonna say anything to say before we sign off, RPG?
When I think about it, I touch myself.
Anything to say before we sign off, Tropical?
No, I'll leave it at what RPG left it at.
Alright, so yeah, until you see or hear from us again, Aimless Babble Z. And we're now signing off. Until next time. Later.